Hi guys, Artie here, and has been little over a year since I've uploaded my first ever video to the channel, that being why the G4 TV revival failed. At a later date, I actually plan on remaking that video since it's an interesting topic and I want to add on a few points and clarify a few statements. In celebration, I'll be commentating on and criticizing the first few videos I've made for the channel and reflecting on how much the quality and my skills has improved since then. I'll be starting with the first ever video. Let's get into it. Ouch. That was kind of painful to rewatch. I cringed the whole time. It was so bad that I wanted to click off the video the whole time. The editing was okay, but my voice was way off and I believe that I actually recorded all the lines all in one take and did no retakes, which I definitely regret. At times, it sounded like I was gasping for air. I was anxious, stumbling over all my words, long pauses, mumbling, talking too quietly, and talking way too fast, which I still do occasionally. It was improvised in the worst way imaginable. I also recorded my voice on Audacity, using my laptop's cheap built-in microphone, and it sounded very compressed and low quality. Every video after that, I recorded my voice using the Samsung Voice Notes app, which has a surprisingly good quality for a phone mic. Not to say that the video was entirely bad. I made some good points, but did not really elaborate on them or add context. I would just say X happened and so, not say why or how it happened or give an example at least. Even though it is a terrible video on its own, it's nothing to be ashamed of, as it was the first video I've ever made for the channel, and I was still learning. I'm proud of the significant amount of growth I made since then, and there's still certain areas I could work on. On to the next one. Alright, GTA Online Rant, Bad Decisions After Another, was marginally better, but still very rough. My voice sounds noticeably less monotone, robotic, and less whiny sounding, and has more emphasis on certain phrases. In that video, I still talked way too fast and mumbled my words a bit. Microphone quality was still bad, but my editing skills were improving, and I was experimenting with video footage and text. Putting all that aside, I actually made many good points, added context to my claims, and gave several examples of faults of the game in the video, and it holds up a lot better than the G4 TV rant. Now for Ridiculous Retail Recollections. This is actually a series I want to bring back, as I have hundreds of crazy and interesting stories from my job outside of YouTube. I was really disappointed on how few views the video got compared to the last two. Most likely because my channel was still starting out. If I uploaded that video today, it would probably get at least 500 views. I know how to tell these stories in a compelling way, but the problem is, I don't know how to tailor it to my editing style. I would probably just have gameplay footage in the background, and overlay images whenever I need to have a visual aid. Anyways, now to actually critique this video. I did put much more emphasis and emotion into my voice when talking, but the mumbling was still pretty bad, and when I rewatched it, I could barely understand what I was even saying. My speaking was just as bad as Joe Biden, if not worse. I slurred my words way too much. I still did not have the outro nailed down yet, and overall, it was a mess. I was able to organize my thoughts and the topics much better, but what's the point if nobody could understand what I was saying? No wonder the video did so poorly in the algorithm. I think this actually might be worse than the GTA Online rant. I'm gonna skip a few videos ahead, since they are all similar in terms of quality, so next up is the very first episode of the You Know What Sucks series, that being cable TV. If it wasn't obvious enough, this is a parody of Cinemassacre's You Know What's BS series that hasn't had any new episodes in a few years now. Right off the bat, I want to say that my speaking skills are way better in this one, with a few hiccups here and there. My voice is much more clear, and I speak at a pace that's understandable and keeps the video flowing. I just didn't like that towards the end, I sounded tired and my voice got too quiet again. Overall, this was definitely a step up from my first video. Now I'm going to skip even further ahead, again, to when my video making format or formula was finally set in stone, and I ironed out most of the errors. I couldn't find a specific video since the changes were very gradual, but this one was the most noticeable. The video in question is Cartoon Network's Worst Era, Dimensional. This early video is as close as it gets to my current video making style, and I could say that I'm very happy with this one. The pacing is just right, there's no obvious mistakes, and I speak clearly and confidently. The only noticeable flaws are that I still had a hard time getting the audio mixing right, and the music was a bit too loud, and I slurred my speech a bit in the outro. I believe this was the second video to blow up on my channel. The first one was actually me breaking the news that Stampy's Lovely World was ending, and I happened to upload that video at the right place and at the right time, and I got lucky. It felt like a one-off. However, I believe the Dimensional Era Rant had a bigger impact on my channel and what reeled in many fans and reoccurring subscribers in the first place. In summary, my channel has made drastic improvements since the very first video I've uploaded, even though I see my earliest videos as not only rough, but cringy and embarrassing by my current standards. That's okay. It took lots of learning, growth, and finding out what people want to see most on this channel. And if you start a channel someday, don't be discouraged by your early mistakes. Sometimes I have to do 20 retakes on one sentence because it's so much of a tongue twister. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but the first 40 videos on the channel were produced using the very outdated AVS video editor. But I jumped ship to Microsoft's free Clipchamp video editor, starting with the video, The Most Frustrating Regular Show Episode, because the lag on AVS became unbearable. Not just that, it was a very bare-bones video editor, and it did not have very many features. Clipchamp runs a hell of a lot better, but the only issues I've had with it is that there is no way to export a video in 4:3, as there is no option to. The other issue is that you can only use their built-in font, and not any of the fonts installed locally on your PC, since custom fonts are behind a paywall, of course. What I did to get around this is use paint.net to type what I need using the desired font, save it as a transparent PNG, and then use it in the video editor as an image. I also hate how you have to be connected to the internet to use the application. Anyways, I'm proud of the improvement in quality I've made recently, and never would have thought that the time would go by so fast. You are currently watching the 88th video on my channel. Isn't that impressive? I want to thank all the subscribers, new and old, and all the friends I have made so far in this journey. I honestly did not expect to make it this far within one calendar year, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos on the channel. You may like them. Since this is a reflection/retrospective type of video, what do you think I could do in order to enhance my video editing skills even more? Is there something that could even be changed? Let me know in the comments. Oh, and one last thing. I saw a few people mention that I should change the intro music to keep things fresh, and I actually agree. But finding the right soundbite that fits my intro best isn't as easy as it seems.